In today's Leeds news, Radrizzani on Nicola Zaniolo swap deal. Radrizzani talks Gakpo and Dieng. Chadaille Bitshiabu linked with Leeds. And Fulham review. Hey folks, Jay here on the 1st of March at The View. And interesting game last night. We'll get into that at the back end of this. Not a huge amount of news floating around, but I wanted to start off by just promoting somebody's channel. Max over at Leeds Lady is approaching a milestone with his channel. It's an excellent channel, hugely positive channel if you want to see it, what he does. Reviews, overviews, usual stuff, but incoming players and managers, he's done a huge amount of tactical breakdown as well. So if you're into the finer detail of Javi Gracia's, he's done a stunning video on Gracia's tactics. So if you want to go over and promote Max, he's up here in the corner. Go show him some love and hit the subscribe button and give him a dig out as well. We're also approaching 6,000 subscribers here. I think we're 40 off 6,000 subscribers. So if you want to support us here as well, you can also by hitting subscribe. And that's all I'm going to. That's my one a week, and that's my only ask. And we did do a full review of the American Leeds podcast last night, which I'll link towards the end of the video and down in the description as well as Max's channel at Leeds Lately. And Joe and the lads over on Just Joe Show will have the final word tonight reviewing last night. I won't be on it myself because I'm training, but that's there. That's the logistical stuff out of the way. Let's crack on with the news. Radrizzani is back talking again, back in the media, and was talking with the Zone Sports Network, which he has a share in and investment owner of, I suppose. And basically what he's revealed is Leeds tried to do a swap deal on deadline day to get Nicolo Zaniolo. And what he said was that, and it's quoted from Tuto Mercato, we proposed a last-minute swap with one of our current team, but it wasn't possible because Roma didn't have any non-EU posts. It doesn't say who the player is, but I think if you look at the players that are already on loan, Diego Llorente had already gone to Roma. That was done, so that wasn't part of the deal. You're probably looking at one of the younger players that was floating around the fringes of the Leeds team at the time to see if they can get some minutes. It didn't work out in the end. It's a strange one because Roma were looking to sell the player permanently, so it's strange that Leeds didn't try and find the cash to get him. It wouldn't have been a huge outlay of cash. I think at the time, the rumored fee was anything between 10 and 16 million pounds at the time. They wanted 30 at one point, but coming closer to the deadline day, they wanted to get rid of the player. So it's an interesting one. But again, talking about things that nearly happened and didn't happen. And speaking about that, he also spoke about Cody Gakpo, and he said that kind of we already knew. The deal was done. It was agreed to PSV, and it was also agreed to the player. Everyone went to bed, woke up, and he basically points the fingers directly at Louis van Gaal, and he says that Van Gaal is to blame for this. He got involved in the process and told Gakpo to wait until after the World Cup. Subsequently, he moves to Liverpool instead. Talk about Dieng as well. That deal was done and dusted, and as a result, they had to bring forward Willie Gnonto signing for the club. Willie wasn't expected to sign until the end of this season. A deal had been agreed for the end of this season, but they brought that forward. Luckily, they did because it's worked out quite well. Willie's been a revelation for Leeds so far this season. But again, talking about things that didn't happen, that nearly happened, that we nearly did. And you remember Arsene Wenger getting a lot of stick at one point for talking about, well, we nearly signed Cristiano Ronaldo, we nearly signed this player, we nearly signed this player. And it's like, but you didn't. So I don't know why we get into that. But anyway, we'll move on. Let's talk about some young players that Leeds have been linked with. Chadaille Bitshiabu has been linked with Leeds, the 17-year-old French under-19 international PSG youth product. Is being monitored by Leeds and by Fulham. This is according to French publication Jesus Futo. And what they have said, Jeunesse Futo, what they have said is that the defender is very appreciated by 5 separate clubs. Leeds and Fulham are tracking the player, and Salzburg have been said to keeping an eye as well. Nobody can sign him at this point in the UK because he's under 18 years of age. So similar to the Montero deal that Leeds did earlier on. He does turn 18 in May, and that's when the move is expected to happen. That will be the end of the season before we see that happen. So that's the another younger player. He is a left-sided centre-back. We've got loads of them. Do a couple of right-sided centre-backs. It's unusual to have so many left-sided centre-backs. They're a rarity left-footed centre to have. So great to stockpile them because they are worth a lot of money in the future. But yeah, another exciting prospect potentially coming into Leeds if they can get it done. Big pinch of salt. It's all rumor. We never know until we know. Wait and see. So let's move on and let's talk about Fulham yesterday. And I'll keep it brief. I won't kill it today. We did a full review with the American Leeds podcast, which is now linked up here for you to have a look at if you want to get myself, Michael, and Alex's take on it. I kind of felt frustrated after the game because although there was a lot of positives taken from the game, we created so many chances, and the sheer lack of quality in the final third let us down. Weston McKennie getting a lot of stick for his final pass and his shooting. I think it's important to point out that Weston McKennie was never bought as a number 10. He was bought as a number 8. He was bought as a box-to-box midfielder, that kind of busy player in the park, which he did quite well at the weekend. And playing as a number 10 yesterday, I don't think really played into his attributes and his strengths. We have been lacking a number 10. That's the obvious answer here. Since Pablo left, we don't have anybody who can unlock a door. So Aaron, somebody came on, looked really lively and dangerous again. But there was a lack of quality, even defensively coming out from the back. The midfielders, not defenders, the midfielders passing out from the back. I thought we lacked a lot of quality. Tyler Adams left a lot of passes short. Meslier is getting a bit of stick about his positioning, and I'll defend him on the first goal specifically because, in my opinion, Tyler Adams underhits a pass to Mark Roca. Mark Roca pulls out of a 50-50, which in my book is criminal for a defensive midfielder to do on the edge of your box. He just steps out of the way to pass and lets him through. Meslier is caught off position, but there's 2 mistakes beforehand that shouldn't have happened. That ball should have gone forward from Adams or gone wide, or should have been hit with the correct amount of weight on it. And Roca should never pull out of a tackle. It's criminal to pull out of a tackle in your own half, especially as a defensive midfielder. That's his job. The back four, Meslier, are all stepping out, and that's where you get caught, unfortunately. It's a great finish because the ball is going well outside the post and comes back in and clips the post and goes in. And for me, the second goal, Somerville is tracking the goal scorer. There's a 1-2 play. Somerville goes to the ball, not the player. Player nips outside and bends around Meslier. Again, it's a great finish as well. But preventable goals. Outside of that, defensively, I thought we were actually quite good. They didn't look like they were going to get in behind us too much. We didn't see the pullback issues that we've seen for most of this season. But we let ourselves down with our pass and accuracy and with our finishing, unfortunately. We can create so many chances. The positive, again, is we create tons of chances, which is the hard part of football. Converting them is an area we need to get really get better at. We're missing Rodrigo right now badly. Bamford just doesn't look like the same player at all. It's nice to see moments where he kind of comes back in against the lower teams. We think he's back, and then you see him against Premier League opposition, and it's just not the same player that was there a couple of years ago. Hopefully, the switch clicks for him soon, and he gets a couple of goals. We're due a few. We are, and he's due a few. So we'll have to wait and see. But like, I mean, if you put it in balance, the positives are we created chances. We didn't look overly leaky at the back, even though we conceded 2. But again, the 2 great strikes. Midfield is a bit of an issue. We need to tidy it up a little bit more. But fingers crossed. I said this at the weekend. I said it again last night. Javi Gracia will learn a huge amount about his players from these 2 games. 2 different systems, 2 different performances. Players in different areas, new players coming in, players playing on left and right hand side of wings with Jackie Harrison and that. So he'll learn a huge amount about positionally, tactically, and performance based, and as a unit as well. He'll learn tons about his players in these 2 games. Hopefully, it benefits us going into the Chelsea game. Out of the FA Cup now, anyway. Focus on the league, and let's push forward and try and make sure we're safe. But need to start converting our chances because can't keep creating them and missing them. It's been a stereotype pretty much of Leeds over the last 3 years where we create tons of chances and need to create tons of chances to score 1 goal. Need to get better. But I'm predicting a Weston McKennie belter the weekend, just out of pure frustration, but we'll wait and see. That's going to do it for me, folks. Have a fantastic day. I'll be back tomorrow with more Leeds news. Enjoy your day. Look after each other. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.